Hello and welcome back to Microbial Concepts. So in this video we are going to clear our concept of cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Okay, so we are just going to focus on these two terms. So both, that means the cellular respiration and photosynthesis, are part of mutually beneficial relationship. Okay, so both are dependent on each other, or one process requires the help of another, you can say that. So photosynthesis cannot occur without cellular respiration, and cellular respiration certainly cannot occur without photosynthesis. Now we know that plants, they release oxygen, which is a byproduct of photosynthesis. Okay, and we breathe that oxygen so that our cells can carry out the cellular respiration and generate ATP, that is energy, or that's how we generate energy. Okay, in simple terms. Now respiration and photosynthesis are biological reactions in the environment that complement each other. Both are similar reactions that occur in a specific manner. Okay, so in the process of respiration, oxygen and glucose yields water and carbon dioxide. Okay, while carbon dioxide and water yields glucose and oxygen during the process of photosynthesis. So that's how you can say they are the parts of mutually beneficial relationship. Okay, or they are dependent on each other. But there are some differences also, like photosynthesis is an anabolic process, whereas cellular respiration is a catabolic process. Okay, if you want to know some more differences between these two terms or two reactions, that is cellular respiration and photosynthesis, then do watch my another video that will be shortly uploaded. Okay, now a simple diagrammatic representation. Now as I said, now you can see here in chloroplast the photosynthesis it occurs. Okay, and it yields glucose and O2, that is oxygen. Now that is used by our cells, and in mitochondria cellular respiration it happens, and that yields CO2 and water, which we um, exhale out. Okay, CO2, and now that same CO2 is used for photosynthesis, which gives oxygen that we use for our respiration. Okay, so that's how this cycle continues. Now about cellular respiration. So in this process the carbohydrate in the form of glucose is broken down, and along with oxygen it is converted into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so now we are studying cellular respiration. So the carbohydrate in presence of oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide and water, and thereby releasing energy as ATP. Okay, so ATP or adenosine triphosphate. So this energy is used for various metabolic activities or other cellular work. Okay, so the cellular respiration occurs in mitochondria and cytoplasm of the cell. Unlike photosynthesis, it works, means cellular respiration happens day and night. Okay, and photosynthesis, it just takes place when there is ample sunlight present or in daytime. Though it is not a simple reaction, as we say, it is a long process which undergoes mainly in four major steps. So first is glycolysis, that is splitting or breaking of the sugar. So it occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell, where one molecule of glucose is broken into two molecules of pyruvic acid, and so here two ATP molecules are generated from one molecule of glucose. Okay, then comes the transition reaction. Now pyruvic acid is sent to mitochondria, where it gets converted into acetyl CoA and gets further broken down. Then comes the citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle. So it occurs in the matrix of mitochondria. Now after entering the pyruvic acid to mitochondria, where it has got converted to acetyl CoA. Now what happens in the matrix of mitochondria? Acetyl CoA is broken in the presence of oxygen, and 4 of the ATP are generated, okay, along with many NADH. Okay, here we saw 2 molecules, here 4 molecules of ATP and many NADH. Even the carbon dioxide and water are released as the waste product of this reaction. After Krebs cycle comes the electron transport chain. So this is also known as chemiosmotic theory, which was proposed by Peter Michael, and in this reaction you can see 32 ATPs are generated. Okay, so 32 plus 4 36, 36 plus 2 38. So overall 38 ATPs are generated in cellular respiration. Okay, and so this is the overall reaction that happens when we talk about cellular respiration, and these are the 4 major steps. Okay, that is glycolysis, transition reaction, Krebs cycle, and the last electron transport chain, where most of the energy is liberated. Now, however we have discussed above, we discussed was about only aerobic cellular respiration, which occurs in the presence of oxygen and result in the production of 38 molecules of ATP from one glucose molecule. Okay, only one glucose molecule yields 38 ATPs. But what about in case when there is the shortage of oxygen, like when we run or while performing any exercise? So there comes the anaerobic condition. Okay, so where they only produce 2 ATP molecules from one molecule of glucose from the glycolysis pathway only. Okay, so now this is under anaerobic condition, and one which we saw um, previously was the aerobic cellular respiration. Okay, it does not undergo for further breakdown of the molecules as the body demands immediate energy at the moment. Okay, so what happens, just the 2 ATPs are given as there is immediate requirement of the energy. Secondly, other reactions occur in the presence of oxygen, and this is the reason they are skipped, and the anaerobic reaction is just, we call it as fermentation. Okay, so therefore it is called as the catabolic process, as energy is released in any form by breaking the large molecule into the smaller one. Okay, so the catabolic process is one where energy is released by breaking the large molecule into smaller one. Now about photosynthesis. So in general terms, we define the process of photosynthesis. We will say that the process of converting sunlight and water into energy or food, and it is performed by green plants. Okay, but chemically it is oxidation reduction process. Oxidation is removal of electrons and reduction is gaining of electrons by a molecule. So this process occurs in light or sunlight, and only in presence of sunlight or in case of daytime, so it is called energy light energized oxidation process, where light is required for the oxidation. Okay, so the photosynthesis, it occurs in leaves of green plants, especially in the chloroplast, which is the tiny structure which is present in the cells of the leaves. Now chloroplast contains chlorophyll, a green chemical which is responsible for the green color of leaves. This is the basic bit that we know. Now chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight or sun energy, and it is used to separate water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen, a very important role that is played by chlorophyll. Now further oxygen is released into atmosphere from the leaves, and carbon dioxide and hydrogen, you can see carbon dioxide and hydrogen are used to generate the food or the glucose for the plant. Okay, so this is the simple reaction you can see here. As we have seen, sun energy is used to separate water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so this is the water molecule, and the carbon dioxide and the hydrogen are then further used to the uh, to generate the food for plants. Okay, so the carbon dioxide and hydrogen from the water is used here and the oxygen is given out. Okay, so this is the generalized reaction for photosynthesis. So we can say that in the above reaction there is oxidation of water in the presence of sunlight, and oxygen and hydrogens are released, hydrogen ions are released. The removed hydrogen ions and electrons, okay, the removed hydrogen ions and electrons moved towards the carbon dioxide and are reduced, okay, as a organic product, and that is what we get as a carbohydrate or sugar during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so though the above reaction is the summary of whole process, there is the involvement of many enzymes and other reactions too, and the process is divided into two stages: light stage or light reaction and dark reaction. So the light energy is absorbed and is used for transfer of electrons, and thus producing ATP and reduction of nicotine adenine dinucleotide phosphate, that is NADPH. Okay, so light energy is used to transfer electrons to produce ATP and to reduce NADPH. In case of dark reaction, in this carbon dioxide is reduced, here NADPH was reduced, here carbon dioxide is reduced to organic carbon compounds, and with the help of ATP and NADPH formed during the light reaction. So those are used in the dark reaction. Okay, so this was about cellular respiration and photosynthesis, the main concept and how they are different from each other. Now if you want to know a detailed um, difference, or you want a tabular differentiation form of cellular respiration and photosynthesis, then do watch my another video. Okay, so like my video, do share my videos with your friends, and do subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the same handle, that is Microbial Concept. Thank you.